Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Open for Business. We're going to jump right into this because the man I got sitting across from me, man, he has got some great information. He's a new business in town. He's a new realtor in town. He's a new meeting space in town. And the dude is running for mayor. I don't know why. Hit him in the head and go, hey, I'm going to run for mayor. But anyway, he's running for mayor. I got Wayne Scott from Neat Coffee Bar, Neat Properties. Is that right?
So Neat Realty and Investments.
Okay.
Yes.
And running for mayor.
Yes, running for mayor of Newport Richey.
What did you get hit in the head?
So it's just one of those things where you look at it and you say, if you're going to do better, where do I start?
Right.
There you go.
I figured one morning he probably took about 5 or 6 shots of that great coffee he's got, and he went, I'm going to run for mayor. And
I know. That's what happens when you're over caffeinated. You're
right?
like, what else could I do?
And then it's like, oh, what did I do yesterday?
I know.
I signed that paperwork and gave all my money.
There's going to be a follow-up interview where you're going to be like,
are you sure?
So how do you feel about that decision now?
Right. So
well,
I tell you, I love the coffee bar.
Thank you so much.
The coffee is absolutely phenomenal. I'm probably there twice a week, maybe sometimes 3, and in some days twice a day because it's been one of those days.
Yes, I know.
And so what made you start? What got your brain to go, you know what? I'm going to open up a coffee shop.
I guess let's start with the real estate. Real estate, I was a sales associate.
Gotcha.
And from day 3 in the class,
right.
it's a 2-week long class, and I'm there 9 to 5.
Right.
And the third day, I was like, oh, I want to be a broker. And everyone's like, what are you talking about? We're looking to pass the test, not.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
You're already thinking bigger picture.
Exactly.
I love it.
That's just the way my mind works.
Yep.
So there were a few people in the class that, was like, okay. And then we clicked together and we were like, okay. Right. And we started talking about investments, things like that. And I said, eventually I'll do this.
Right.
So I went the traditional route, passed the class, went to a big shop and saw how they worked, and then thought maybe I can go up within the company.
Right.
And you'd learn that role also.
Mm-hmm.
Pandemic happened. The office was closed down.
Mm-hmm.
It was tough trying to do that because, remember, I came into the business just in the beginning of the pandemic. So that creates a problem. You're now getting started. You're doing all the marketing.
Rug
gone.
Right.
So as I guess a lot of people, when adversity is tossed at you, you figure a way out.
Right.
Or you crumble.
Right.
That's the other side of it. So,
literally.
And I guess that goes back to a little of my history. So being a police officer,
right,
you see a lot of different situations, a lot of tragedy, and you deal with that. So I guess I was a little bit hardened from that. And then, you know me, I'm going to go and try to keep pushing forward. So I said, all right, well, cool.
Right.
The office isn't really open. And where would I meet people? At coffee shops. And I saw there were people doing bookkeeping there, piano, teachers.
Editing. I've seen so many people, video editing and audio editing on their laptops.
Websites. Yeah. People were meeting with clients for, businesses were still opening.
Right.
Especially the government was funneling a lot of money through people. So they were like, hey, let me take a shot at this. I always wanted to do this. My job just gave me the boot. I'm at home.
Right.
I got some time. Let me venture out. So with that, I said, well, if I were going to do this, I would do it better. And better is what I ended up coming up with that concept. So co-working space, coffee bar, and the coffee, a shout out to Panera. They made good coffee. They gave me the groundwork, and I said, I like this, I wanted a printer. I wanted a fax copy. I wanted to be an office away from. And it's funny because there is a company out there and their motto, they didn't do it. They didn't follow through.
Right.
But I was like, that's exactly what it should be.
Yep.
This should be your home office workspace.
Right.
And the coffee. We make really good coffee. We follow a precise system. So whoever you go in and see, any of the baristas, they do it the right way.
Right.
That was the key component that was missing in all the coffee shops. There was inconsistency everywhere.
Right.
Whether you went to one in Dunedin, Palm Harbor, Tarpon, it's all different. It's who do you get today? And I didn't want that.
Right.
So it was, let's just do it right. So I figured out in order for me to instruct them, I got to learn. So I took the barista course. I said, all right, teach me.
Right.
And the person that was teaching me says, I'm not just going to teach you. I'm going to teach you how to teach.
Right.
So I was like, oh, great. That's what I love.
That's a great thing.
That's a great thing.
Yep.
Exactly. So I did that. We got the coffee shop going. And, downtown Newport Richey is where I ended up because, believe it or not, if you go to a Publix owned center, they don't want you to open a coffee shop because they kind of do coffee in their own way. So you can't do that. And, there are so many real estate offices, so you couldn't do that or that. So I had to say, well, if I'm thinking outside of the box, what would I do?
Right.
Coffee shop, you've got office spaces in there, so you can rent or have an office within that. And that was the birth of Neat Coffee Bar.
So you were a police officer, you drink coffee.
A
You were
lot.
in real estate, you drink coffee.
Yep.
A lot.
A lot.
Right? So now you're like, well, if I'm going to drink coffee, I'm going to have my own coffee,
I might as well own it.
and I can sell it to other people that drink my coffee.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And now, all of a sudden, it's like, oh, I'm going to run for mayor.
Yeah. Well, it's all the caffeine. That's the side effect. Okay?
Do you ever sleep?
I do. Not much.
I was going to say about what, 2 hours, 3 hours,
Four
hours,
tops.
right?
Yeah. That's my. It is a problem though. I do need to fix that part of my life, and I gave a.
I don't know how that's a problem. I'm just saying.
I gave a workshop on managing your time and finding a balance, and one of the students there was like. So how do you live a balance? And I started laughing because I've already conceded that I won't live a balanced life.
Right.
It's like
Do as I say, not as I do, right?
when it comes to this, because I know that I'm going after something,
right. Yeah.
So in the pursuit of something, you just throw yourself at it 100%. I guess now we'd want to talk about why you're looking at the mayor. Well, the mayor's position really has a lot to do that can affect my business.
Right.
So do I just want to sit on the sidelines and say, well, he makes a good decision or she makes a good decision or they make a bad one.
Right.
But you could have at least moved the conversation, gotten the dialogue, and there is a chance that you'll be that person. So how thoughtful will you be of someone else in your position?
Right.
And that's what I want to be. I want to be very thoughtful
Just
of
like
the
those people go, well, I don't like that president. Well, did you vote? No, because,
Right.
I really didn't like either one. Well, then that's your fault.
Right. And I really want to emphasize this. The voter turnout is, it's really not what it should be for this city. We've got 18,000 roughly residents and maybe 4,000 registered that show up and vote
Right.
in the elections. You have to get out there, and I put the information on so you can register and you can go down to City Hall, register. I want people involved because you can't have that. You can't say, oh, this is wrong and
then
they're
not-
doing
not-
something, but you don't have a voice.
Right,
And I want
exactly.
people to have their voice,
Right.
So
So you're going
and-
to be one of those kind of mayors that people could come in and sit down with the mayor and talk to the mayor and go, hey, dude, what do you think about this?
I've always been the person that want to engage in conversation because I'm new to this area. But what happens when you submerge yourself into something, you learn a lot more. And
Amazing, isn't it?
yeah. In the short span of time that I've been in the city,
Right.
I know quite a few people. I know quite a lot about the history. I've had the privilege of going into the hacienda more than a dozen times.
I know
think.
you're all over social media.
Well,
Look,
that-
Wayne's here. Wayne's here.
That's
Wayne from
another
Wayne's here.
thing.
Wayne's here. Wayne's here. Did you
Right.
know Wayne was there? Yes, I know Wayne was there.
but the point is, it's where was Wayne? And maybe we do a where's Waldo type.
Yeah,
Where's
right.
Wayne?
Where's Wayne going to be this week?
So if I become mayor, it's where's the mayor?
Where's the
and,
mayor?
and you'd have
That's
to
right.
jump on social media, which everyone's on anyway, and you'd find out, well, he's having breakfast. I'm going to go bother him, But I'm thinking ahead. I'm going to have an off duty and an on duty
Oh,
sign.
there you go. Right. A hat. Off duty.
you can only talk to me when it says on duty.
Right. I'll throw this out there right
Yes.
now. If you win as mayor,
Yes.
I'm going to give you once a month to come in here for 30 minutes and talk to people what's going on in the city.
Sure.
I mean, I know you stream and I get it, but nobody watches that stuff.
No. What I will do is absolutely, I would bring not only that, but I'd bring some of the upcoming things that, are in there
Yeah.
that people want to know about.
Right,
You
right.
know, we can have like the mayor's secrets and that's it.
I'd love to. I keep telling my wife, I was like, we need to buy a house downtown.
Yeah.
And I don't care if it's just buy a house. We'll call that our main house, and then
Yeah.
other one will be a rental property or just my secondary, so I can vote.
Yeah.
Because there's so many times that there's been stuff up there that I'm like, that should have never passed that way ever.
So it's the amount of voices, getting back to who's participating. And I've gone to several of the public meetings and the room's filled with 20, 30 people.
Right.
Same faces.
All same people complain about the same exact thing that they've been complaining about for the last 10 years or 20.
Yeah, so I think that when we get to that stage, even if the side effect of me being in that position, then
Right.
I'm bringing people and I'm bringing them along. So, hey, you want to get involved? Cool, I'll be here.
Get involved.
Come. It's public. Let me hear what you have to say because we do want that feedback. You know, it's really bad when people say, well, I don't have a voice, but you didn't get your voice heard because of your own efforts. You know,
Right.
let's come out there.
Or this is something else that I hear. I hear them say, we've tried, it just get ignored. So
Right.
I'm done.
Right.
Whatever they do is whatever they do. I just go on about my business.
And I get that. So I do hope that we can make that process that they go through transparent. So what is it that you're doing that you're not succeeding in? And maybe there's a reason. Once you know the reason, I think that kind of puts an end to it, you know? Whether you want to accept it or not, then that's on you.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
And this may be a dumbest question you've ever heard, but if I own property in Newport Richey, incorporated town,
Right.
I can vote. If I'm a renter in Newport Richey, can I vote?
Yes, of course.
So there you go.
Yep.
So even renters have a say.
They do. And I'm not sure if they're aware of that. And we've got
I wasn't aware of that. I always thought, well, if I rent it and I don't own the house, I'm really not a true resident. I'm just living there.
I'm a renter.
Oh, that's right. You
Yep.
moved above the bar. That's crazy. Oh, shh. I didn't say that. I'm sorry.
You didn't say that public
He lives
information.
on the other side of Newport Richey, by the river.
By the river, down by the
That
river.
crazy ass house that's hanging over.
No, but that's what I did.
Yeah.
I left Trinity, and I gotta tell you that it's 100% the reason. We said, I want to be able to walk around. You know, I'll go with my kids. We'll walk
You're
down Main Street.
everywhere downtown.
But it's so nice.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't I be? I grew up in Queens, New York. And it's funny because people that grew up around grass don't understand. I played tennis on concrete.
Yeah.
You know, I played football.
Played basketball. And
Played
football
basketball.
on concrete.
Everything.
Yep.
We did it on concrete.
Handball.
Oh, I love handball. I was on the handball team. So yeah, we played. I mean, when you fell,
It hurt.
Yep.
Don't fall.
yep.
Be
Yeah.
fast.
Well,
Don't get caught.
this is why to this day I'm probably a jeans guy for that.
Right.
Because you're just used to it. You know, I'm in Florida. I should be wearing shorts and stuff.
Do you find living in Newport Richey is kind of like living in New York, where you don't have to walk far now?
Okay, so I
Because,
don't want to.
you typically everything that you
Right,
did
was
and
close
lived
by.
was right there.
Yeah.
Right. You could walk down to
Right.
the what is it, the barista or what
Yeah,
do they call it?
you'd go to the bodega.
The bodega.
Yes, and the bodega had everything. You
And,
go to the corner store. You go
7-Eleven,
to the
for those that don't know what a bodega is, it's a 7-Eleven.
right, or like a Wawa because I've seen some of
Way
the stuff.
better than 7-Eleven. But
Yeah.
I just want everybody to know what that's what did it. Because I've said that word the other day when everybody's like, what's a bodega?
Right.
Well, there's these girls that hang out front and they're like,
No.
no. It's
That's the other B
corner
one.
store
Right. Yeah, right.
that we all grew up with.
Yes. So it was your neighborhood store. It was
Yeah.
your mom and pop shop. That's really what
Right.
it was.
Cranky old Frank ran the front, and you went down there, and if you
They knew you when you came
That's
in.
right.
They knew your parents, you know, and that's sort of the feel. I mean, I remember my son going down to the butcher block, right next door to me.
absolutely got to go there. We got to get them on one day.
So he went down there, and little teenager doesn't have cash. It was like, this is my dad. Oh, they know him. Okay, your dad will pay later, and I go and I take care of it. That's an awesome feeling.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I would love that. I have customers that come in like, oh, I forgot this. I don't have this. Do you guys mind? Dude, come back. It's okay. You know, that's the atmosphere and that's
Right.
the culture. So when I say on my ads that I want to have a culture, you know, and in the city, that's a vision. That's a goal that I would like to have. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about
Right.
that relationship when someone's coming in, you know, you're talking to them and you're telling them, oh yeah, I know who you are. You just go over there, talk to such and such.
Right.
And that's where you need to be.
Tell them Johnny sent you.
Yeah, that's it.
They'll
You
either
know.
charge you double or you'll get a good discount.
Or they'll tell you stay away from John. And that's it.
He's not ball.
Right, right.
So let's talk about the coffee shop real quick. We got
Sure.
about 10 minutes left. Let's talk about when I come to the coffee shop, what can I expect? I know you talked about the baristas and they're all
Right.
like right on, but
Right.
you offer a lot in that little shop. And it's a beautiful.
Thank you. I went for a higher end look.
Right.
I wanted the place to be a professional environment. So when you come in, I want you to be greeted. I want you to be, I think typically people will come in and say, what is this place? Mm-hmm. What happens is they say, this is neat 3 times before they even realize that that's the name of the place.
That's right.
So they'll look and they'll say, well, this is neat. Well, this is nice. Well, what are these books here for? Well, they're there for you to read. Just here? No, take them if you want.
Yeah.
What do you need? Do you pay? Do you leave a deposit? No. We're going to bring back the honor system. I want you to,
Right.
if you say you're going to bring something back,
Yep.
bring it back or bring back another book. And we've had people that said, I live too far. I'm just here for, let's say, Bike Fest, you know? And the young lady said, I really want to read this book, but I can't finish it now. May I take it? I live too far away. Can I send you a book? Absolutely. And in the mail, I was like, what is this big thing? She was actually an author, and she sent her book autographed.
Nice.
That's relationships.
That is
You know,
relationship.
you want that type of stuff. And to me, you just foster it and it'll spread, which is why probably people are like, oh, I see you everywhere. It's not intentional. I'm not out there to say, but
Look
I'm
at
there.
me.
Yeah, I'm there
Right.
at Herschel's. And man, that breakfast is great. I love they made some crazy thing with fried chicken. It's the eggs Benedict on fried chicken with a biscuit. It's really healthy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I feel my arteries going, hey, you know, I'm not clogged up enough. Go to Herschel's.
It was amazing. And my wife had the Cajun fries. It tasted great.
Yep.
I mean, I go to these places because I love it.
Right,
Sip, we go there with charcuterie. I think we had to cut back because we're there twice a week. I mean,
It gets expensive after a while, brother.
well, of course, but then, you know, it's like you do have to eat at home, spend some time at home and do these things. It's just when you're out and about, you meet people. Like when I was there, I met a guy that lived on Grand since he was 15 and he was in his 80s, you know. We had a wonderful conversation.
Right.
It's where you connect with everyone. So
and
there
you
are all
want-
these places.
You want to support everybody,
sure, you want it well.
but you got to be careful because you can go broke supporting everybody.
Yes, you can. But also, I've done a pretty consistent job of saying if something is good. If it's not, I talk to someone that, you know,
Right.
say, hey, I'm just giving you my feedback and hopefully it's corrected, you know? So when I go to someplace, I know, hey, I'm going to get a good meal here.
Right.
I'm going to enjoy this time. The scenery is going to be this. And I want the same for people when they come in.
Right.
So I've had so many out of towners. They're like, oh, this is like this. This is like this. Good. That familiarity is what I want them to feel. When you come in,
Yeah.
we've got that that great little video where it's the take on Cheers, where everybody knows your
Yeah,
name and,
yeah.
and all that. It's great because that's exactly what we wanted to accomplish. We want people, when you come in, we're not asking your name to send you out junk mail. We're not, you know,
Yeah.
targeting you or anything like that. We're really looking to say, how can we make your experience good? And
Or better.
right. And here's the downside to that. Sometimes people come in and they'll say, oh, I wanted that crazy drink that such and such make. I'm like, it's not even on the menu. What are we going to do here? What are we-
This is not a TikTok location where you come in and get some because we don't have any of those.
Right. And you come in and you've got a consistent drink, but sometimes you want to try something different.
Yep.
So in order to do that, what do we have to do? What are you in the mood for?
Right.
We have a conversation with
Yeah.
you, you know? You're not coming in for the drive-through version of here, 2 minutes,
No.
you're out.
When you go to Neat, you literally want to sit there and talk for a little bit.
Right.
It makes you. I feel comfortable in there. It's kind of nice. Right?
Thank
I
you.
really do like it.
Thank you.
And depending on the barista, I have to either say really, really hot or hot, because one of them will get it every time, and I'm like, no, I need it really, really hot. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I have the thermostat
I want the scalding
there.
hot.
Yeah, I have the thermostat there.
Yeah.
They're all consistent.
Yep.
I have full confidence when we make a drink.
Yeah.
We'll give it to a kid and they won't burn themselves. You know, we want that
Yeah.
experience. So
I'm the odd dude because I want this scalding
exactly.
hot.
Right. And either they'll microwave it real quick for you or some hot water.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what we do. But
Exactly.
we want to get you
But you
the
also
right thing.
have you also have those 2 rooms.
Yeah, the offices.
So I can come in there and get, I actually on the website there's a reserve a room.
yeah.
And you have those are great.
Yeah, there's several people that come from out of state and they need to just work while they're visiting family. We have people that come in that are having meetings and
Right.
they're prepping before either they go to City Hall, have a meeting, or they're meeting someone and saying, all right, let's get our game together and this is what we're doing. Or they're in between locations. So we really don't have a co-working space that people can come in and you're talking about there's agents, there's all these different types of business professionals. They may need something printed out
Right.
for that meeting. So
Right.
we have them
What
covered.
a great room to do a Zoom from too.
Yep. And we've got the TV, so people have come in and done coaching classes. You know, take over the monitors, take over the space. They cast on there, and they're all doing their social media stuff.
Right.
So there's tons that you can do. We've got poetry. We've got which is growing really fast. We've got poetry readings on the Saturdays.
If I come out there and I hear this, I'm walking away. Just saying.
We applaud. We
applaud.
And there's some funny stuff. I mean,
Right.
there's there's one guy, one poet. He comes up, Tom, and he did this thing about he's got his Jerry Springer woman, and you got to go on YouTube and look at that one. I'm telling you, you're listening. You're like, wait, is it offensive? Is it good? Where are we at?
If
And
I had to
it's
think it's
poetry.
expensive, I'd probably like
No,
it.
it's poetry. You know, it's coming natural from him,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's beautiful. So
That's awesome.
We love having that space to foster creativity.
And you have seating out front too, right?
we
Right
have
there?
the seating out front. Got a couple of plants out there. We've got seating in the back, so people can sit at the back in the shade. Because front you've got the sun. So
Right.
if it's a cold day and you want to get that sun, great.
And you got great desserts in there.
Oh man, that's
oh.
from Railroad Square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Joshua Scott. Go to Railroad Square.
Yeah.
Cheesecakes. Feel free to bring me back some.
I
too.
like their cookies.
Danishes, cheesecakes, the pizza bombs. I don't know if you've ever had that. He opens up
No,
late night.
I had their pies.
the
At
pies. Yes.
Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Was it Thanksgiving or Christmas?
It was when Kelly Mothers
Yeah,
had
they
did
were
the
giving
giveaway.
out- yeah, we were giving out
Which
pies.
one did you get?
I got the apple.
You got me too.
Oh,
They are
so
so
good.
good.
9 seconds in the microwave, heats it up just the perfect temperature, and then you do a little ice cream on it.
So I have this thing now that I own a coffee shop. We have whipped cream, so we make our own. Then
Yeah.
you flavor it.
Oh,
So it was whipped cream on top of that pie, and it was heaven. It was heaven.
yep. So yeah, and it's really good. Now, what kind of we have to do about 2 minutes.
Okay.
What kind of real estate do you do now?
So I'm really focused on boutique real estate.
okay.
So it's the specialty stuff. It's not the big stuff. I really sit down with people as far as first-time investors and try to find them deals.
Gotcha.
First-time sellers, people that are looking to, what's the best way? They don't want to click on a button. They don't want to trust Zillow. They don't
Right.
want to, go with the big shops. They
absolutely.
want someone that they can talk to. I do property management for good properties. I don't do anything that would fall under the
No
category of
slumlord.
Yeah. I've had to deal with that, and I wasn't happy about the condition. So now I get to pick and choose in regards to that. So I
And you
try-
really have dealt with that, especially
Yes.
when you're a police officer.
Yes.
I mean, that's
Yep. And then exactly how people feel on the other side. Like right now, there was an emergency call, someone's there, and it was great having the resources and networking that I have, because I called a place. One is not going to be able to send someone out till next week, and there's someone on site right now taking care of that tenant. So, and they're thrilled. And you don't have problems when you don't have problem tenants.
Right.
Yep. You get them taken care of. They're paying their money.
Exactly.
They won't have a problem if they're getting the service.
Tell everybody where you're at.
We're at 5500 Main Street. It's the Stonehaven Properties. It's Unit 108, and we're right across the street from the Chamber.
Right across. Oh, that's right. You are across from the Chamber.
Yeah.
But right next to the butcher people, too.
Next to the butcher block. And
good food. And then you get
the Dented Keg
is around the
Rick, great owner, and big support of the community. You see him at all
Plenty
the
of
events.
parking, right?
Tons of parking. I advise you, if you're coming down, park in the rear. It's not for only the tenants there. It's for the retail store use. So come there, park, go in the back door. It's okay.
Awesome. Thanks for being on, man. I appreciate
Thank you,
it.
sir.
Boom,
I appreciate you.
We'll see everybody next week on Open for Business.